Mayonnaise Barbie, please, not today. Not during Black History Month. No one is coming to Europe for your bratwurst and your mayonnaise. No one is coming to America for the Jello salads in the Midwest. I told you guys earlier this week that I think white people are the most delusional people on the face of this earth because their version of the world and their history is taught to them as them being the victors, so they don't even process what they've done to the world as to why the world is the way it is. The white narcissism and superiority complex that exists as a result of the post-colonial world is really insane to me. Do you think anyone willingly wants to not be in their country? You think people leave paradise to come live in Oklahoma and open a Mexican restaurant? You think anyone wants to leave the shores of Ghana to go to London where it's cold and dreary? You look at places like America. America would not be what it is without them inviting Asian workers to come, or slaves, which I'm a product of forced migration. You look at the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom invited 1 million Indians and Pakistanis to rebuild the country after the war, and then they invited all of their Caribbean people in the Windrush to rebuild the country. Without them, it would be in shambles. Have a world where white people and white countries in the West are lazy and they can't actually work for themselves, because even in America, if we got rid of all the migrant workers, who would tend the farms? We would have any fresh food? So you are saying things like this, but then your own people can't even sustain your own country. Post-colonial world was basically dismantled and fractured and put back together haphazardly by Europeans. With that being said, they destabilized the majority of the post-colonial world, and they made their economies centered in Europe. So even we can see that now in the flight paths. You can't really travel through Africa. It's very hard to travel through the Caribbean without going to Miami. To go from Africa, you have to go to Paris, to London, and that is all due to colonialism. So when you destabilize a country, you steal their resources, you make them dependent upon you, and you put their financial centers in Europe. Everything's going through Europe. Why would they not want to come to Europe to live a better life? No, the brain drain from people who can actually develop their countries. The problem with white people is that you think that immigrants are only coming to America, Canada, and Europe. There are people from Africa and the Caribbean and Latin America in every single corner of the globe. But to sit here and say that you think people want a part of white culture, what is that? What is that? Marrying your cousin, having no rhythm, eating mayonnaise, and not seasoning your food? What are you talking about? It takes nothing to research migration patterns, immigration patterns, and why people move around the world the way they do. But when you don't understand the themes you're talking about, and then you chalk it up to racial superiority and cultural superiority, give me a fucking break, bro.